plan was perfect. What I mean is that we have to have more possession of the ball, more control of the ball, to press a little bit high. We press sometimes, especially in the goal kicks, on the free kicks near the Raya's goals. We press quite well. But in the future, I want to play a different football, to spend more time attacking with the ball in the last third than defending in the low block. That's all. The rest, I think, is an example, and people appreciate the effort of the players.
If this was like football, Mrs. Badenoch, you need to look across to Old Trafford of the manager of Manchester United, Ruben Amorim, who keeps saying, give me time, and keeps losing matches. You're losing councillors, you're losing support, you're losing members, and you want more time. You are the Ruben Amorim of politics, Mrs. Badenoch.
Well, that is certainly not the case.
There's not wrong with any system. It is all about, can the players execute that system? And if they can't, yeah, then you need to adapt, in my opinion. Otherwise, you keep trying to do the same things and nothing changes. I mean, in the modern game, in my opinion, yes, people sometimes start from, you know, whether it is a 4-3-3, and very quickly can go to a 3-4-3. You know what I mean? It flows. You know what I mean? Depending how the game evolves, depending on, you know, what the opposition does, what kind of system that they play. I said from the start, I don't think it was wise for him to say, I want to play 3-4-3 and this is what I'm going to do and I'm not going to change. I think he should have said, listen, I am in favour of 3-4-3. I had a lot of success with it. I really hope that I can make it work at Manchester United, but I first need to have a look at the players that I've got. I need to look at the Premier League because it's a completely different league than obviously Portugal. And you know, if it doesn't work, then I have to be a little bit creative and maybe adapt here and there. That he would have given himself by far more freedom, as now you got it's almost sort of a witch hunt to say the system, which obviously doesn't help, because every time they fall short, people start asking the same question.
It's hard to say because I'm not winning games, so I don't feel like I'm better coach. But I lived here in 3 months. I live certain things that I'm a more complete manager, because sometimes you need to lose to be like in the poor situation to grow, and I felt that during these 3 months. Like, I'm not going to die if I lose 3 games in a row. That is something that I learned here, and I can cope to maintain the energy. So I'm learning a lot about myself and the players, but I prefer to win games. That is.
Former Manchester United coach Ruben Amorim has finally broken his silence on his time at Old Trafford, insisting that his tenure must be judged with a broader perspective. Speaking in a candid interview, Amorim urged critics and supporters alike to look at the context before drawing conclusions about his spell at one of the world's biggest football clubs. Amorim acknowledged that managing Manchester United comes with a unique level of pressure. He explained that the club's global status, history, and expectations create an environment where results are magnified far beyond the pitch. According to him, it is impossible to separate performance from circumstance when assessing his work. He pointed to the transitional phase the club was undergoing when he arrived. Structural changes behind the scenes, recruitment shifts, and evolving long-term strategies meant he stepped into a project rather than a finished machine. Amorim emphasized that rebuilding a football giant is rarely a smooth process. The Portuguese coach highlighted the squad dynamics he inherited. Several players were adapting to new tactical systems, while others were dealing with injuries or inconsistent form. Amorim insisted that stability is crucial for success, and constant disruptions made cohesion difficult. He also discussed the tactical identity he tried to implement. Known for his progressive, high-intensity football, Amorim sought to instill structure and fluidity in United's approach. However, he admitted that tactical transformations take time he feels he was not fully afforded. Amorim defended the improvements he believes were visible beneath the surface. He cited better defensive organization in certain phases of the season and improved build-up play statistics as indicators of growth. Progress isn't always obvious in the league table, he remarked. The former United coach stressed that injuries played a significant role in derailing momentum. Key players missed crucial stretches of the campaign, forcing tactical reshuffles and makeshift lineups. In elite football, Even minor disruptions can have major consequences. Amorim also referenced the intensity of the Premier League. Transitioning from Portuguese football to England's top division presented a fresh challenge. He acknowledged that the speed and physicality of the league demand quick adaptation from both coaches and players. Financial fair play considerations and transfer budget constraints were another factor he mentioned. Amorim suggested that not all managerial decisions are purely football-based, as financial realities can shape recruitment and squad depth. He defended his record by pointing to specific high-profile victories. Wins against top six rivals, he argued, demonstrated the team's potential under his leadership. These results, in his view, showed that the foundations were being laid. Amorim also addressed criticism about inconsistency. He explained that young squads often experience fluctuating form as they learn to manage pressure and expectations. Development, he insisted, involves setbacks as well as breakthroughs. The coach made it clear that he takes responsibility for shortcomings. However, he rejected the notion that his tenure was a failure. Context matters, he repeated, emphasizing that football narratives can sometimes oversimplify complex realities. He spoke warmly about the support from sections of the fanbase. Amorim said he felt the passion of the supporters every time he stepped onto the Old Trafford touchline, and he expressed gratitude for their unwavering loyalty. Amorim also praised the professionalism of his coaching staff. He described the internal atmosphere as collaborative and driven, even when external criticism intensified. According to him, unity behind the scenes remained strong. The Portuguese tactician touched on media scrutiny. He admitted that the spotlight at Manchester United is relentless, with every decision dissected in real time. Managing that pressure, he said, is part of the job. He compared the rebuilding phase to long-term projects at other European giants. Amorim argued that sustained success often follows seasons of restructuring and recalibration, rather than immediate transformation. Reflecting on player development, he highlighted the emergence of young talents who gained valuable experience during his spell. He believes those players will benefit from the lessons learned in high-stakes matches. Amorim was also quick to dispel rumors of dressing room unrest. He insisted that the squad remained committed to his philosophy and training methods, even when results were uneven. He discussed his relationship with senior figures at the club, describing conversations as honest and constructive. According to Amorim, disagreements were professional rather than personal. The coach acknowledged that expectation levels at Manchester United are unique. The club's illustrious history means that patience is often in short supply. Amorim said he understood that reality from day one. He also spoke about the psychological aspect of managing a global institution. Confidence can swing dramatically based on a single result, and maintaining emotional balance is essential. Amorim reflected on moments where narrow defeats shifted the narrative. He suggested that fine margins, missed chances, defensive lapses, can drastically alter public perception. He reiterated that building a tactical identity requires repetition and continuity. Short-term thinking, in his opinion, can undermine long-term stability. The former coach praised the academy structure, describing it as one of the club's greatest strengths. He said nurturing homegrown talent remains central to United's identity. Amorim addressed comparisons to previous managers, noting that every coach operates under different conditions. Judging tenures without acknowledging those differences, he argued, is unfair. He also touched on the emotional toll of the role. The responsibility of leading such a storied institution weighed heavily, but he embraced the challenge. Amorim defended his communication style, explaining that transparency with players fosters trust. He believes honesty is critical in high-pressure environments. He credited the leadership group within the squad for maintaining focus during turbulent periods. Their professionalism, he said, kept standards high. The Portuguese coach acknowledged areas where he would improve. Reflection, he insisted, is vital for growth. He emphasized that his methods are rooted in long-term sustainability rather than quick fixes. Building a culture takes time and patience. Amorim dismissed speculation about regret. He described his time at Manchester United as an invaluable learning experience.